fasten your seatbelt. Sonny Young is standing by to talk to us. Good evening, Sonny. Sonny, it's good to have you on Sports Tonight.
Good evening to you, Austin. It's always a pleasure to be on Sports Tonight. I wore my red tie just for you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sonny. And Sonny, you know, football fans can be so passionate. The Super Eagles played 2 friendly matches, and Sonny, everyone in Nigeria that follows football, they've been talking about it. And while I was getting ready to come on air, they're angry. Some of them angry that they lost to Serbia. And I'm saying Sonny's team didn't even qualify for the World Cup.
Touche, Austin. We had to watch that match from afar, and I agree with what some of your football analysts have said that I think the Super Eagles are going to need to look at creating more of an attack ahead of Russia 2018. That scoring opportunities were limited in those friendlies against Poland and Serbia. I heard one of those stats that really only 3 shots on goal in the two matches. So that could be a definite factor. The Serbs made adjustments, and again, I heard you say checks and balances.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's all about, Austin. The Serbs lost to Morocco before they traveled to London to take on the Super Eagles, and I read a quote from one of the Serbian players that they wanted to make some adjustments after that loss to the Moroccans. I think that's what it's all about.
I totally agree.
So, and there's going to be time, I think, for the Super Eagles to make a few more changes before that opening match in Russia.
Football fans, they can't wait. They should make those changes before the World Cup. Sonny, let's get on with the show. Talk about the U.S. College Basketball Final Four. Men and women, it's like we'll get to the end of it.
Well, let me quickly give a shout-out for one of the Nigerian players in the Final Four, Austin, Udoka Azubuike. He's a rugged center for Kansas, and he's getting a lot of attention here in the States for the Jayhawks of Kansas. They will play Villanova in one semifinal on Saturday night, and the other features surprise package Loyola Chicago against Michigan. But getting back to Udoka, he was born in Lagos. I believe he's from Delta, Nigeria. That's where he grew up. And very muscular player, Austin. And I was really impressed with him in their last game. Good leaper. And I think he's got maybe a shot at making it to the NBA. We'll see. He's a second-year player for Kansas, a sophomore. We'll see whether he stays for 4 years with Kansas. But I think he's a player to watch.
I agree. We have his name down, Sonny. We have his name down, Udoka Azubuike. We will monitor him. So every time you come here to talk about basketball, there is a Nigerian in the mix. Sonny, we're taking over. We are taking over. Sonny, let's talk about the NBA. Yes, I know you will tell me about an African player again, but we need to stand up for the king, LeBron James, unstoppable.
LeBron James, he has really turned it on since the All-Star break, Austin. He scored, let me get it right, 41 points on Wednesday night to lead the Cavaliers to a 118-105 victory over the Charlotte Hornets. With that scoring performance, he matched Michael Jordan's consecutive game double-double streak, scoring at least 10 points in a game. That makes 866 consecutive games in which LeBron has scored at least 10 points, and he's really playing some great basketball for the Cavaliers. They have Kevin Love back. He's recovered from a broken hand. I think they're getting healthier now, Austin, and I think the Cavaliers could definitely make some noise in the upcoming NBA playoffs. Quick shout out, we hope he's going to be okay, for Joel Embiid, the young center from Cameroon. He got hurt last night in a game against the New York Knicks. He basically collided with his teammate, Markelle Fultz, bone bruise, and as a result, they took him to a hospital to get him checked out. And I think, they might want to rest Embiid for a few games before the playoffs. So we hope that he'll be healthy for the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, we hope so. We're praying for him because he's been having a beautiful season. Injury shouldn't stop him. But LeBron James, Sonny, unarguably one of the best basketballers of our time. Sonny, is it too late to test him for the alien DNA? Is it too late?
I think that's a valid test, Austin. A valid test. Test LeBron.
No.
Test LeBron for alien DNA, and then bring in Russell Westbrook right after him.
Yes, someone got tested in boxing, and it's sorry, what's going on? Let me put it this way: Triple G Canelo, what's going on with that rematch?
Right now, it's up in the air, Austin, whether that rematch will take place on May 5th. Right now, Canelo is supposed to appear on April 10th before the Nevada State Athletic Commission to basically explain that positive drug test. He tested, I hope I get the drug name right, clenbuterol. And some people with breathing problems use that drug, but it's been showing up in a lot of drug tests by athletes because it also improves performance, helps you lose weight. And, boxers often try to cut a few pounds before fights to get ready for these fights. So right now, I mean, it's hard to say. I hope we'll see that fight, but the fight I'm looking for is in Cardiff on Saturday night, Austin.
That's right. So while we wait for this one to become a reality, we know nothing is happening to that one on Saturday night in Cardiff. That's right, Sonny. Won't know where you're throwing those punches. But you know what? The New Zealander, Joseph Parker, it says, I'm being underrated. Sonny, you've put your money on Anthony Joshua. He says he's going to bash Joshua.
I still got to go with AJ. Parker seems so out of character when he talks trash like that, Austin. I'm not used to hearing him talk like that. And I just can't buy it. I don't buy that trash talk from Joseph Parker. And I got to go with Anthony Joshua on Saturday night.
I agree, Sonny, because he's such a calm guy. And then he's trying to get angry and then just throw words out there to Anthony Joshua. But we know, Sonny, all of the trash talks before the fight. But Anthony Joshua, Sonny has lost some weight and he's been preparing. He says he won't talk more, but he knows that he's ready to fight on Saturday.
I think he's going to look great in the ring on Saturday night. And Parker has talked a little bit about movement, that he might try to, maybe dance around a little bit. But I don't see that working against AJ. And AJ has said he thinks he can take out Parker within 8 rounds. And I don't think the fight will go the distance. I really don't. I'm going to go with AJ by knockout, Austin.
By knockout. Knockout, Sonny, and this time
I won't predict the round though.
Yeah, that's right. I know. I wanted to be sure that there's something attached to it, but you know that someone is going to fall by knockout, and it's going to be Joseph Parker on the ground Saturday night.
I think so. Okay. I think so. I think AJ will be 21-0 after Saturday.
21-0. I'll tell you something. Persons in Nigeria, they already have palm wine for you because they love Anthony Joshua. So when next year around, you get it, Sonny. Thank you so much for your time. Always a delight.
Always a delight. Always a pleasure to talk with you, Austin, and a very good evening to all your many viewers on Sports Tonight.